Hello, Czar Leston. And also, you guys are here. Are you guys going to be here throughout my entire training? Kind of awkward for you.
Greetings, my young pupil. Your progress has been most remarkable so far. Are you here to continue your training in the ways of the Jedi?
Not right now.
You have learned much, yet there is much more for you to still understand. The way of the Jedi must be entered into with a clear and focused mind. When you feel that you are ready to continue your training, know that you can find me here.
Feels like that's like story progress. Should I like wander around and see if I can go outside to interact with like quests and things?
Yes, what's on your mind? You got it.
The Ebon Hawk counts as a quest. Additionally, it would seem that Davik had stored a swoop bike aboard the Ebon Hawk before you stole it. If you found the track somewhere, you might be able to make some good money off of it. I have a freaking swoop bike. Of course I do. Hey, can I go back? I was thinking, like, I haven't actually been on the Ebon Hawk yet. I kind of want to go on the Ebon Hawk and, like, whoa, that's every quest I have. I only have Karth, Bastila, Canderous, Ebon Hawk. Those are all of my active quests, huh? That's interesting. Huh. Maybe there is nothing else to do, because they asked me to go check out, like, go find this missing girl, but it's not even listed as a quest right now.
If you have questions, you should direct them toward the Jedi Council members.
Greetings, young apprentice. Have you come seeking knowledge of the past? Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Or so they say. As a chronicler of the Academy here on Tatooine, I feel it is my duty to share the history of our order with the newly initiated. Unfortunately, our recent history is one of tragedy and bloodshed. The Mandalorian Wars, the fall of Revan and Malak, the rise of the Sith. There are important lessons to be learned from these events, if we do not wish to repeat the mistakes of our past.
I am eager to learn, Master Dorak.
Of course, I could not tell you the entire history of our order. The Jedi have existed for thousands upon thousands of years. We are as old as the Republic itself. Instead, I will begin 40 years ago with the War of Exar Kun. Like Malak and Revan, Exar Kun was a Jedi who fell to the dark side and led an army against the Jedi and the Republic. Exar Kun was defeated, but the war left both the Republic and our own order severely weakened. For 20 years we struggled to rebuild, trying to erase the scars of the terrible conflict.
What does this have to do with Revan and Malak?
All things in time. You shall learn that history is an intricate weaving of many events. No one thing can be understood without the proper context. 20 years ago, the Mandalorians, aware that the Republic was in a weakened state, began conquering small worlds on the Outer Rim. They were careful to choose only planets outside the Republic's jurisdiction. After much debate, the Senate chose not to intervene. As long as the Mandalorians avoided planets that were members of the Republic itself, there would be no retaliation.
They should have protected them.
Well, you can hardly blame the Republic. The memory of war was fresh in everyone's mind. Nobody was eager to relive the horrors in a campaign against the Mandalorians. But in the end, it was unavoidable. The Mandalorians stockpiled resources from their conquered worlds, preparing for a massive assault. 7 years ago, they launched a simultaneous attack in 3 separate sectors of Republic space. The Senate had no choice but to retaliate with the entire Republic fleet. The Mandalorian Wars had begun.
Did the Jedi join in?
The Republic petitioned the Jedi Council for aid, but there were many factors to consider before we allowed ourselves to be drawn into another conflict, so soon after the war with Exar Kun. While the Jedi Council preached patience, there were many among our order who were eager for us to join the battle. 2 young knights in particular demanded immediate action: Revan and Malak. They rallied many of the Jedi to their cause, and against the wishes of their masters, joined the Republic fleet battling the Mandalorians. Revan was a brilliant military leader, and the Republic fleet began to win victory after victory. 4 years ago, the Mandalorians surrendered unconditionally.
How did Revan fall to the dark side?
Revan and Malak were heroes, the great saviors of the Republic. A third of the Republic fleet was under their direct command. And then something happened. Instead of returning after the war's end, the ships under Revan's command went deep into unexplored space. They claimed to be searching for the last remnants of the Mandalorian fleet. All contact was lost. For many months, it was assumed some great disaster had befallen the entire fleet. Everyone thought they were dead. There were unsubstantiated rumors of Revan and Malak being seen on a number of different planets during these months, scattered sightings that were never confirmed.
Where did they disappear to?
Perhaps they simply went far beyond the edges of Republic space. Maybe they found previously undiscovered hyperspace routes to the ends of the galaxy. Nobody knows for certain. 3 years ago, Revan and Malak returned at the head of a massive invasion fleet. Revan had assumed the title of Sith Lord. The hero had become a conqueror.
Where did Revan get the ships for the Sith fleet?
Some of the ships in the Sith fleet are those that were under Revan's command during the Mandalorian Wars. But many more are of an alien design we've never seen before. The source of this massive fleet is one of the many things about the Sith we cannot explain. It seems impossible to have created it in such a short time, yet we cannot deny its existence. The source of the Sith soldiers is unfortunately much easier to understand. Initially, the bulk of the force were former Republic soldiers who had served under Revan. With each conquest, thousands more flocked to join the invaders, swelling their numbers. Even many of our own order have betrayed us, lured by Sith promises of riches and power.
Well, yeah, of course they weren't all made in that short of a time, because they were actually from some kind of alien fleet. That's why you said their design was alien. So they went somewhere into the outer reaches and encountered a different civilization that the Republic's not used to, which for some reason was willing to provide them with ships. It might just actually be like some kind of exterior Sith Empire somewhere. How can anyone hope to stop the Sith?
For 2 years, the Sith were all but invincible. Fortunately, Bastila and her battle meditation allowed the Republic to win a few key victories and kept the Sith from total triumph. In desperation, we set a trap for the Dark Lord. Bastila was with the strike team that tried to capture Revan, as you probably know. She was there at Revan's end. That was nearly a year ago. But things have not improved. Malak has stepped in and assumed the mantle of Dark Lord for himself, though he's far from Revan's equal in strategy or tactics. Still, his fleet continues to grow in both ships and soldiers. If we do not find some way to stop the Sith soon, Malak will overwhelm us with sheer numbers.
What can I learn from Revan's history?
Revan's tale shows us how even the greatest of Jedi can fall to the dark side. You must always be on guard against the evil that dwells within you. Think hard upon this lesson.
If there's no level of Jedi attainment that can safeguard you against turning to the dark, doesn't that mean that the entire Jedi teachings might be flawed and fragile? If it's so easily collapsible, even when you're like the most devoted of everyone, apparently. I will think on this, Master Dorak.
May the Force be with you. Greetings, young apprentice. Have you, as chronicler, you should ponder.
Where are the Academy's archives?
This facility is a training academy. The archives here are restricted to those who have attained the rank of Master. We must protect overeager Padawans from being exposed to dangerous knowledge. The pursuit of knowledge is a noble goal, but there are some things that require the wisdom of a Master to truly understand. You should ponder the history of Revan. It contains many lessons you may need if we hope to defeat Malak and the Sith.
I'll be going now.
May the Force be with you.
Good evening, apprentice. I trust your training goes well.
My training is progressing quite well.
I have faith that you will achieve the rank of Padawan soon. Master Jar is most impressed with your progress. May the Force be with you, apprentice.
Did we ever learn why Yoda talks the way he does? Because this guy is also of Yoda's race and does not. So I'm curious about that. That's just a trait he has.
Good evening, apprentice.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
A Jedi must ever be seeking knowledge. What is it you wish to know?
What can you tell me about Bastila?
Bastila will be a great Jedi someday. Even among the Masters and the Council, it is rare to find one so skilled in the art of battle meditation. Bastila was there when Revan was slain. Did you know that?
Karth mentioned something about it.
Bastila herself does not like to talk about it. She was accompanying the strike team that confronted Revan when the Dark Lord was destroyed. Her role in the death of such a promising young Jedi as Revan upset her greatly. But Bastila knew she had to set her personal feelings aside for the sake of the galaxy and the Republic. The Force is strong with her now, and without her skill in battle meditation, we would have lost this war long ago. The way ahead will be difficult for young Bastila, and for you. But you must draw strength from each other. May the Force be with you. Is there anything else you would like to know?
Master Vrook doesn't seem to like me very much.
Master Vrook may seem harsh and critical, but he understands the dangers that lie in your path. He wants you and Bastila to be fully prepared when you finally face Lord Malak. The way ahead will be difficult for young Bastila, and for you. But you must draw strength from each other. May the Force be with you. Is there anything else you would like to know?
Is there anything you can teach me about Revan and Malak?
I knew Revan as a promising young pupil. Revan was strong in the Force, but also headstrong and proud. Such traits are not unusual in a Padawan. Perhaps that was why I did not see the true extent of the danger. Many of the young Jedi admired Revan, including Malak. When Revan set off to challenge the Mandalorians, Malak was the first to join the cause. And when Revan fell to the dark side, it was inevitable Malak would fall as well.
So Revan was stronger than Malak.
Revan was always the leader, the more powerful of the pair. When Revan fell, we had hoped the Sith threat was ended. But Malak quickly assumed Revan's role, and has embraced the dark side power as fully as his old master ever did. Now, Malak leads the Sith Armada against the Republic. Hate and vengeance for his master's death draw Malak ever further down the path of the dark side, fueling his powers until they surpass those of his old master. Only you and Bastila together can stop Malak now. The way ahead will be difficult for young Bastila, and for you. But you must draw strength from each other. May the Force be with you. Is there anything else you would like to know?
I must be going now.
Very well. May the Force be with you.
It's a hell of a thing to have the entire fate of the Republic resting entirely on Bastila's shoulders, apparently. She has a lot of responsibility. She seems to have this. She seems to single-handedly have the one ability that nobody else can do. That is the only reason they're ever winning against the Sith. Down to the point where she's the only one to ever defeat one of the Sith, or one of the leaders of the Sith, at least. That's just how overtly fucked everyone is.
I see you insist on wandering the halls of our enclave when you should be busy studying your lessons.
My training is going well.
It appears that soon you will achieve the rank of Padawan. Master Jar is most impressed with your progress, but I cannot help but wonder if you move forward too quickly.
Alright, give me more obstacles then, come at me.
I see you in...
I'd like to ask you some questions.
I suppose such desires are inevitable, though I fear you may seek knowledge for which you are not prepared. Yet I will do my best to guide your quest.
What can you tell me about Bastila?
Bastila, the young Jedi holds great promise and great danger. She can do much for both the Republic and the Council. Without her skill in battle meditation, the Sith Armada would have conquered the galaxy long ago. But despite her command of the Force, Bastila is still young. She is a Jedi, but she has not attained the rank of Master. The Council would do well to remember this before we lay the fate of the galaxy on her slender shoulders. You would do well to focus more closely on your lessons. The Force is strong with you, but you need training and guidance in the ways of the Jedi, lest you suffer a fate similar to that of Revan. I see you in... I suppose...
Is there something you can tell me about Revan and Malak?
Revan was once a promising Padawan, but ever eager to learn more about the Force. Revan sought knowledge of ancient Sith magics, foolishly ignoring the dangerous lure of the dark side. When the Mandalorian invasion came, Revan seized the opportunity it presented. Many Jedi flocked to the Outer Rim to follow the charismatic young knight, and many fell under the sway of the dark side.
What happened on the Outer Rim to corrupt Revan?
I do not believe Revan and Malak were corrupted on the Outer Rim. They had begun their journey down the dark path long before the Mandalorian threat appeared. Here on Tatooine, they discovered a sinister cave, a place where the strength of the dark side overwhelms the light. Perhaps this discovery was what first corrupted them. Or perhaps they sought the cave out because they were already corrupted. Whatever the explanation, the Order was unable to turn them back to the light. Had the Council taken more decisive action in this matter, perhaps Revan and Malak could have been stopped. But in this we failed. You would do well to focus more closely on your lessons. The Force is strong with you, but you need training and guidance in the ways of the Jedi, lest you suffer a fate similar to that of Revan.
Ooh, there's an evil, spooky cave, like in Last Jedi. I wonder if that's just a thing. Like, you get a bunch of Jedi together and all try to train them in the light side of the Force and whatnot, and just like, because of this balance of the Force concept, it just manifests a pit of darkness on that planet as a result or something. What also comes to mind is this idea that I've heard go around that I can't tell if it's canon or not. There's this idea with the Sith called the Rule of Two. The idea that there's always a master and apprentice, and then that's basically the entirety of all of the Sith, whereas the Jedi themselves are like many and so on. And some people argue that because of this vague, because we constantly have to reinterpret this really vague sentence about there being about the idea of there being balance brought to the Force, people take that as meaning that like the total lack of Sith but massive amount of Jedi might indicate that why those Sith become so powerful by contrast or something. And you could also take that to indicate potentially like why in the sequel trilogy, when there's essentially like 1 or 2 Jedi and 1 or 2 Sith total, why suddenly a brand new Jedi seems to be so especially powerful, because maybe the same idea is happening, that maybe there's only so much light side and so much dark side to be had on each side. So when all the Jedi get wiped out, the remaining Jedi are unusually powerful, just like how the Sith seem to always be unusually powerful compared to the Jedi themselves. I don't know. The actual movies this whole franchise is based on do so little to actually establish rules that a lot of the extended stuff kind of loses its mind trying to come up with meaning for a lot of the stuff. Which might just be the folly of trying to make so much extended universe off of some relatively light movies.
I see you insist on wandering the hall.
You insist on wandering the halls of the Enclave when it's like, I'm one room away from the place where my training is happening right now. One room. You often seem angry with me, Master Vrook. Have I displeased you?
If you find me overly critical, perhaps it is because you do not fully understand what is at stake. For 15,000 years, the Republic has brought peace and stability to the galaxy. Now the Republic may be destroyed because we, the Jedi, have failed them. Revan and Malak were paragons of the ideals the Order seeks to uphold. Yet they succumbed to the temptations of the dark side. When Revan fell, Malak took up the mantle of Dark Lord of the Sith. Should Malak be stopped, what is to stop another Jedi from taking his place? This is the burden we Masters must carry. Only through strict training and relentless lessons can we prevent the Dark Master from being reborn. That is why the Order can brook no failure in our apprentices and pupils. That is why I can accept nothing but perfection from you. You would do well to focus more closely on your lessons. The Force is strong with you, but you need training and guidance in the ways of the Jedi, lest you suffer a fate similar to that of Revan.
Once again, calling him a paragon of the Jedi. The best of the best and all that. Doesn't bode well. You're either saying that your entire belief system is so fragile that even the most devout could crumble in a moment, or you're just still completely wrong and he never was a paragon of your order and always was not on the level you think he was, but you still stuck to the idea that he was the best of the best even after being proved wrong? Like, he clearly already fell and you still frame him as being a paragon of the Jedi. Neither of these interpretations really go well.
Greetings, my young pupil. Your progress has been most remarkable so far. Are you here to continue your training in the ways of the Jedi?
I want to ask some questions, Master Zar. Questions about Revan and Malak.
Few mention those names around here anymore, but I suppose it is just as dangerous to deny they were ever part of the Order. When I was still on Coruscant, Revan and Malak often came to me for additional training. In particular, Revan's hunger to learn seemed insatiable. I should have recognized this as a warning sign, but I perceived the young Padawan's lust for knowledge as simple exuberance and eagerness. Revan was my most promising pupil, one I felt sure would someday become a champion of the Jedi Order.
I feel like I already had this conversation, right? What happened?
The Jedi Order moved too slowly for Revan and Malak. It is one thing several years, but the Council... But Revan would not... Malak was the first...
Escape. I should be going now.
You have learned much. When you feel that you are ready to...
Let's start this over.
Greetings, my young pupil. Your progress has been most remarkable so far. Are you here to continue your training in the ways of the Jedi?
I'm ready to continue my training.
Soon your apprenticeship will end, and you will be granted the title of Padawan, the lowest rank of those within the Jedi Order. Yet first you must prove yourself worthy. In the traditions and customs of our Order, as handed down from master to pupil for 1,000 generations, you must successfully complete 3 tests before you earn your place among the Jedi.
What kind of tests are these?
These tests will see if you have truly mastered the training you have been given, both mental and physical. Upon completing these tests, you will pass from apprentice to Padawan and join in the ranks of the Jedi. First, I will test your knowledge of the Jedi Code. These tenets must always guide your actions. In everything you do, you must always be conscious of their wisdom. You must prove you have a Jedi's understanding of the code. Return when you feel you are ready for this challenge.
I mean, dude, listen, I'll try to be light side and all that, but I'm definitely gonna forget your code like immediately. It's just like who I am. Training computer. Welcome, Varlo Thule. As one recently accepted for training here at the Academy, it is important you to fully understand the many paths now available to you as a servant of light. Jedi Guardians train for battle and physical prowess. In contrast, Jedi Counselors seek to master the awesome power of the Force. Jedi Sentinels seek to find a balance between these two extremes. Sounds to me like warrior, mage, rogue. Tell me about the Jedi Guardian. Jedi Guardians battle against the forces of evil and the dark side. They focus on combat training and masterful use of the lightsaber. It just straight up throws fourth wall breaking stats at me. I know we started that way at the beginning of the game, but I'm not after the first ship. We kind of went away from this. Oh, it faded away on its own. Shit. Jedi Counselors bring balance to the universe. They focus less on physical combat and more on mental disciplines in order to augment their mastery of the Force. 6 vitality per level. 8 force points. Slow skill progression, slow feat progression. So more force, less vitality. Jedi Guardian. That was 10 vitality, 4 force points per level. Fast feat progression, slow skill progression. Jedi Sentinel? Jedi Sentinels ferret out deceit and injustice, bringing them to light. They strike a balance between the physical and mental disciplines of the Jedi Order. 8 vitality, 6 force points, average skill progression, slow feat progression. So they all get 14 per level. It's just split between vitality and force to different amounts. That's not the most complete information. I could definitely do with more information about how to compare the two, how to compare them with each other. Let's see. I need to learn the code. I either go to like a library or I just ask these people about it.
If you have questions, you should...
Greetings, young apprentice. Have you come? As chronicler, you should May the Force be with you.
Do you actually tell me where to get the code?
Greetings, my young pupil. Your progress...
I'm ready to continue my training. I say lying.
Soon your apprenticeship will end, and you will be granted the title of Padawan, in the traditions and customs of our order, as handed down from Master...
I am ready for these tests, Master Czar.
These tests will see if you have truly mastered the training you have been given, both mental and physical. Upon completing these tests, you will pass from apprentice to Padawan, and join in the ranks of the Jedi. First, I will test your knowledge of the Jedi Code. These tenets must always guide your actions. In everything you do, you must always be conscious of their wisdom. You must now prove you have a Jedi's understanding of the Code by completing these fundamental precepts of our order. There is no emotion.
There is knowledge.
That is not correct, apprentice. Perhaps you are not yet ready for this challenge. There is no shame in admitting weakness. Feel free to speak to the other Jedi in the Academy if you require assistance. They will gladly share their knowledge with you. Return when you feel you are ready for this challenge. May the Force be with you.
So I need to go talk to the other students, not the masters in the council, apparently. I mean, it should be a really minor thing to memorize, so it feels like a really minor test. There's Garden Lady.
Greetings, apprentice. Though I understand you shall not have that lowly title much longer. Master Jar tells me that your progress has been remarkable. Soon he feels you will attain the rank of Padawan. Then you will truly be a full-fledged Jedi. How are you enjoying your training?
I am still learning the Jedi Code.
All Jedi must know the code. Its tenets are the fundamental teachings of our order. There is no emotion. There is peace. There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. There is no passion. There is serenity. There is no chaos. There is harmony. There is no death. There is the Force. Think and meditate on these truths, apprentice, if you ever wish to become a Padawan.
I'll totally accept that I'm probably wrong, but like I read the books as a kid and so on. I really thought that an apprentice and a Padawan were the same thing.
Greetings, my young pupil. Your progress has been most remarkable so far. Soon your apprentice in the traditions and these tests will first. You must now prove there is no emotion.
Was this whole list here the whole time and I just didn't notice the arrow? Whoops. I thought it was just those three options. My bad. There is peace.
There is no ignorance.
There is knowledge.
There is no passion.
There is serenity.
There is no chaos.
There is harmony.
There is no death.
There is the Force.
You have learned your studies well, apprentice. It will not be long before you are a full member of our order. But first, you must pass the second test and learn about the most prized possession of a Jedi, the very symbol of our order, the lightsaber. The lightsaber is the traditional weapon of our order. It is a symbol of a Jedi's skill, dedication, and authority. And each lightsaber is as individual as the Jedi who wields it. The blade is made of pure energy, focused by polished crystals in the hilt. As the second test, each Jedi must construct his lightsaber with his own hands. And now it is your time. Speak with Master Dorak, and he will guide you through the choosing of a crystal.
Choose our crystal. Alright. Well, this is exciting.
Ah, you have come, young apprentice, at Master Zar's bidding. He sees great promise in you, as do I. The time has come for you to choose the color of your lightsaber. This color also reflects your demeanor and position within the Order.
What colors are there?
Blue is the color of the Jedi Guardian. This Jedi battles against the forces of evil and the dark side. They focus more on combat training and use of the lightsaber. Yellow is the color of the Jedi Sentinel. This Jedi ferrets out deceit and injustice, bringing it to light. They focus less on combat and more on other skills and abilities. Green is the color of the Jedi Consular. This Jedi seeks to bring balance to the universe. They mediate between other groups, using their powers to end conflict and preserve peace.
Should I stop and do research? Because, like, I can't help but notice. This is like, I'm picking a class. I'm essentially picking a new class. And, like, this is the most... Like... This like, in any RPG I've ever played, I feel like this is the vaguest description I've ever been given about what class I could be picking. And why I'd pick those classes. Just a quick just one sentence for each one, basically. Huh. I'm probably leaning towards Sentinel, but still. Gonna be honest, I'm a little undecided, but I've just been... I don't know, I don't want to sit here forever on this, I guess. But basically, yeah, it isn't really 3 different classes. Like there isn't really a rogue stand-in. It really is, do you want to be basically melee focused and have a lot of health as a guardian, or force focused and get more powers as a counselor, or a sentinel is just kind of a merging of the two. It really isn't like its own category necessarily. Sentinel's a little iffy. It's also what Bastila already is. And there's a lot of complicated elements of this that I wasn't fully ready for, where I guess it affects, like, it's going to affect which skills count as our class skills, and I'm honestly not entirely sure how to min-max what. All I know is stuff like Jedi Speed, I think it's called, the one that gives you extra attacks, and Flurry, and like some of the stuff that I want to use isn't really class specific, so I should be good there. I might just become, because I'm always going to be in the party, and I'm always going to be the frontliner and the protagonist character and so on, going somewhere towards a kind of melee tank character that can take a lot of hits and just do a lot of lightsaber combat really well and move really quickly probably seems ideal, because a significant percentage of the other characters are going to be like behind me with lasers and whatnot. So I'm thinking Guardian actually makes the most sense at the moment. Probably. It also gives you get more feats as a Guardian than any of the other classes. So that'll be handy too for just leveling up my character for the outside of the force power thing. I'm also a little iffy on the idea of needing to have like a massive pool of force abilities, because like you have to manually toggle through all of them via that one part of your hotbar where you keep toggling through all your different force powers. So it's going to be a giant list where you can only see one at a time, and you have to manually cast each one as an individual action each fight. So like it just kind of seems a little more trouble than it's worth to some extent, whereas having a cleaner list of force abilities and fewer of them, and just focusing on leveling those ones up when I get the chance, as opposed to getting all of them. Like, I can't help but feel like having a giant list might get to be redundant. Seems about right. I'm also probably playing light side, so not a lot of attack spells, so like I kind of just need like a stun and a heal and like a mobility trick. Like if I can heal myself and I can buff myself and I can stun an enemy, we're pretty good. It might suck that I might lose proficiency with some of the skills that I've had proficiency with until now as a scoundrel, and that was letting me level those ones up more because they were my class skills, and they might stop being my class skills. But at least from scoundrel I did get sneak attack, and so if I become a Jedi Guardian and specialize a bit in being able to stun my opponent and then just wail on them, I might really I may still benefit from that, hopefully, or my allies stunning people and so on. That's the idea. Ultimately, we're playing on normal mode. I think there was a hard mode in this game, right? So like, it's not necessarily the biggest deal ever if I didn't make the biggest plan ever. In fact, this game's like, I think this is designed to be a surprise. The fact that, hey, here's this complicated D&D class system, and surprise, by the way, out of nowhere, you fucking multi-class into a different class entirely. Everyone doing their blind playthrough isn't going to be ready to min-max that on the first try anyway, so, you know, they have to allow people to make poor choices here and account for that in their balancing. I just want to be a Jedi Guardian with a nice, boring blue lightsaber. Can I have a purple, please? Alright.
Indeed. We shall see. I will now ask you questions, and your responses will indicate which class you lean most towards. A woman and her small child are beset by a desperate-looking group of thugs. They're menacing her with weapons, and she screams to you for help. What do you do?
Oh no. I have to pick like the right answers to get the outcome. Can I do the sorting hat thing where I'm just like Gryffindor, Gryffindor, after, well, despite the personality test? Help them flee, attack the thugs, or stop the thugs and find out why they were attacking her. This is the counselor choice, that's the sentinel choice, this is the guardian choice. Attack the thugs.
Indeed. Very well. On to the next question. You are in combat with a dark Jedi allied with the Sith. There is a pause in the combat. What do you do?
Attack him again. Find out why I tried to turn to the dark side and turn him. Try to see a weakness in his technique. I think sentinel, counselor, guardian. Attack him again.
Yes, I suspected as much. Now for the next question. There is a locked door, and your goal lies on the other side. What do you do?
I mean, this is just too in character, so I feel like I can't just, like, game it. I have to admit, like, I would try to pick the lock. It's what I do.
I am beginning to see a pattern here, apprentice.
Are you?
I have a feeling about what you would be best at. But first, the final question. You are the head of an enclave on a contested world. The Dark Jedi have infiltrated and are causing unrest across the planet. What do you do?
Try to lure them into a trap.
Yes, I thought as much. As I suspected, you would be most suitable as a Jedi Guardian. Which color and path do you believe yourself most suited to, apprentice?
Blue, the path of the Jedi Guardian.
Here is a blue crystal for your lightsaber. Go speak to Master Jar again, and he will instruct you in how to construct it.
Hello. And just like that, we're on the level up screen. I am now Varlo Thul, Jedi Guardian. Computer use is cross-class, so class. Wait, did I keep the same class skills? Oh, but I only have 2 points. Persuade and awareness, I guess. But I don't run into bombs. Even granted the following feats: weapon proficiency, lightsaber, and Jedi defense, and force jump, and Jedi sense, and force sensitive. There's a lot of things. They must all be down here. Force jump. The Jedi knows that if diplomacy fails, combat must be swift and decisive. When an opponent out of range is targeted by a standard lightsaber melee attack, this feat allows Guardians to make a quick series of jumps and rolls to close the distance almost instantly. This feat is automatic when wielding a lightsaber and targeting opponents with a standard melee attack from more than 10 meters away. The Jedi must have a clear line of sight to the opponent. This was actually kind of one of the tipping points, in addition to the melee proficiency and whatnot, is I saw this and I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I want to be a Guardian. The idea that you just fucking close the gap on anyone you try to use melee attacks on? That seems incredibly helpful. Let's see, then you get +2 on hit and damage on the first strike. Once you get to level 6 Jedi Guardian. Then at level 12 Jedi Guardian you get a +4 to hit and damage, which is very good. Using a feat or special attack negates the special ability. So that means that if you want this to trigger, you do need to attack with a normal attack for every time you start a new fight. Should probably pick toughness soon for these reasons. Okay. Jedi sense. The Jedi develops a connection to the Force that allows them to better sense incoming attacks. This feat grants +2 defense while it's active, then 4 defense, then 6 defense. This should make up for the fact that as a Jedi, I think I'm required to wear robes, and so we're going to want some standard free bonuses to make up for our lack of armor. Dueling is for some reason listed under these. Force sensitive. Jedi training affects each Padawan uniquely, allowing them to grow in ability while addressing personal flaws. On rare occasions, however, exceptional individuals open doors to strengths they did not know they had. This feat represents a heightened connection to the Force previously unseen in newly trained Jedi. This feat grants 40 additional Force points to the character's base total. Oh, here we go. Jedi defense. This feat allows the character with equipped. So you deflect the beams around, and then if you beat their score by 10, it goes back at them. This gives a +3 to the deflection roll, making it even more likely that you'll defend against it and or send it back at them. Then a +6. So not bad if you just want to be able to passively deflect lots of blaster bolts and keep yourself safe. Here's Jedi training. Does the lightsaber count as a melee weapon? Like, did this... I assume this gives me +1 to that too. So a +1 attack bonus, then a +2 damage bonus with lightsabers. Looks like every Jedi can get these first two. This one that gives you +1 attack bonus, but only a Jedi Guardian can get the +2 damage bonus at the end. That's specific to me. These roll here before. You definitely get stuck with a lot of like garbage traits at the beginning of the game that you kind of would want to get rid of. Kind of wish I had bought Flurry by now, but I'm happy I didn't get better armor. Improved 2-weapon fighting. That's where I'd like to go with things. Let's get Flurry for now, because I still don't have it. Powers. 2 powers to go. So first burst of speed gives you double speed and 2 defense, but then it gives you 1 attack per round, 2 attacks per round. I want this ability, please. Yes. I should be level 9. Does character level 9 mean that I'm not necessarily Jedi level 9? Or do I have to be Jedi level 9? I want to work my way down that tree if I can. Is there anything new and different? Throw lightsabers on here. Force suppression, drain life, force push, sphere, slow, wound, stun. I do want to have stun. Having stun makes sense because of my scoundrel ability. I think that'll be my starting point, is burst of speed and stun. I can capitalize on the enemy being stunned. Now more leveling. Ah, that hurts my soul that I have so few points I can spend now. I thought it was going to change which class skills I had, but I guess not. But it did change how many points I get to spend each level. So now I'm not really capable of leveling everything up the same way. I'm going to have to bring my tech specialist characters around instead. I have a point to spend. I can't get an additional level of stun. I can't get an additional level of burst of speed. I may want to pick up Cure. I'm not sure if I want Throw Lightsaber. It's obviously like a badass ability for a Jedi to have. Like, it's really cool, but if I can just close the gaps with people with jump, I don't think I need it as much as other more force-oriented Jedi would need. So I think it makes a lot of sense for me to get Cure, just because then any Jedi in my party can kind of take turns spending force to heal the party and maintain our resources. Leveling up. I get an attribute point. None of these should change my modifiers at all. No. Yep, my level of dexterity is kind of a bummer now. I'm gonna want strength. Listen, it's not the most perfect min-maxed character. I know. Yeah, this is your melee damage and chance to hit, which, yes, is my thing now. So I should start going down this path more. I didn't necessarily fully have a plan, or even really fully understand the classes in this game. I get another feat. I can go for another level of 2-weapon fighting, or another level of flurry. I already have the base flurry, now it's just changing the... yeah. the other penalties and whatnot, which 2-weapon fighting also affects those those bonuses. So I can't level up Cure or Burst of Speed or Stun. So it's time to pick a new ability. Energy resistance just reduces incoming damage to the party, which could be very useful in a number of nasty little situations. Damage prevention is always good. Affect Mind. Enables the persuasive use of the Force. Might as well. And we're all leveled up. Level 5 Scoundrel, level 3 Jedi Guardian. 60 health. So still not Karth level, but I'm working on it. I may have made some mistakes along the way. I didn't really think I was going to be picking the melee-oriented class. But by this point in the game, I'm thinking I'm going to pick the melee. Well, I have now. I might have made different choices at the beginning, otherwise. I don't know, I still like sneak attack, though. Maybe I just would have maybe I would have just, that's probably the biggest thing, is I probably would have spent my stat points differently. And we've done a lot of talking. I should make a save slot real quick. I probably would have invested into different stats. Whoops.
Ah, good. Now that you have selected your crystal, we shall begin the construction of your lightsaber.
Lightsabers, right? Can I have lightsabers? Can I hold them reverse grip like 8-Eye Gallia? What is that gesture? That's not a computer. I don't have a lot of choices to be made here. 2 to 16 damage, 19 to 20 critical threat range. Whomp whomp, just like that. Now I can, as of this episode, I get to stop playing coy with this future idea of multi-classing. It's not the biggest secret that you become a Jedi in this game, but I figured I shouldn't just overtly spoil it, so I tried not to mention it at any point until now and let it reveal naturally. I think the game basically reveals it to you like on the box art and also in the intro cutscene and so on. It might even be an advertised feature of the game or something. But I just figured that I should try to be quiet about it for a while, you know. Let it be a reveal for those that it's a reveal for, if it is a surprise. Because the game definitely feels like it's supposed to be a surprise. Like, oh my god, I'm a Jedi? Me? Whoa, crazy! Even though, of course, you play as a Jedi in basically every Star Wars game.
You have done extremely well in constructing your lightsaber, apprentice. Your crystal seems to have been set perfectly. It is rare indeed for that to happen the first time one constructs their lightsaber. These crystals are very rare, found only in certain caves strung in the Force. By adding crystals to your lightsaber, you can alter or enhance its properties. There have even been unconfirmed rumors of certain Force-sensitive caves here on Tatooine that may hold these crystals.
I can find crystals on Tatooine?
It is a rumor only. I do not know if there's any truth in it, but you must learn first to use your lightsaber and take care when drawing it. Your lightsaber identifies you as a member of the Jedi Order. With such recognition comes honor and respect, and the attentions of dangerous enemies. The Sith and Dark Jedi will seek to destroy you, apprentice. And you must prove yourself worthy in battle against a foe who also wields a lightsaber. Are you ready to face the final challenge, apprentice?
How do I get a second lightsaber? I want 2 lightsabers. I'm ready to face the 3rd trial.
For every Jedi, the threat of the dark side is always present. You must truly understand this before you are accepted into the Order. You must see the corruption of the dark side for yourself. Even here on Tatooine, there are places where the dark side holds sway, twisting and tainting nature itself. The ancient grove once used for deep meditation by the Jedi is now tainted. A wave of darkness perverts the region around it. The Kathhounds in the area have become savage and ruthless. They have become a threat to the settlers, a threat the Jedi have promised to stop.
What's causing this corruption?
The Kathhounds are but a symptom of the true problem. You must journey into the grove and confront the true source of the darkness. That is your task.
You know more than you're telling me.
I can say no more. Some things you must see for yourself. None of the other Jedi at the Academy are permitted to help you in this task. But remember this, my young apprentice. A Jedi acts with patience and care, and those on the dark path are not always lost forever. The dark side still taints the ancient grove. Your lessons cannot continue until the spreading corruption of the dark side has been stopped. This is your task, apprentice. May the Force be with you.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Alright. What? Ooh, second weapon? Guess I can just run around with one of these. Ba-doop-a-doop-a-doop. I mean, it looks kind of cool too, to switch up the 2 of them. Well, just like that. I'm a Jedi, y'all. I'm not like final form or anything, but like I'm getting there. Gotta go find out how to modify these things, make them even more ridiculous. That's also worth noticing. Restricted by armor. I gotta stop wearing armor. Gets me in trouble. When's somebody gonna give me Jedi clothes, though? 5'4", 7'5". There we go. Should probably put these dex items on Karth, the guy who's still using long-range attacks. Actually, I guess... yeah. Mission can't use implants, so she can't get the 2 points to get the next modifier out of the whole deal. I'm back in my original smuggler's clothes. Guys, robe. Do I have to kill a Jedi to get a robe? Is that how this... Somebody give me my... Oh, right. Probably have to become a Padawan, don't I? But I can't use Burst of Speed until I have my robe. You know what? It's not worth it. I quit. I'm no longer being a Jedi. No, I mean, it's not worth it because Burst of Speed is actually not that good. Until I get... Because I don't have the rank of Burst of Speed that gives me +1... Yeah, that's all I'm missing out on. I don't have the rank of Burst of Speed that gives me an extra attack, and that's what I'm going for. So until I have that, I can just not use it. Then once we get a little higher, I'll have the version of Burst of Speed that gives me more attacks per turn, and that's when I'll get interested.